Charlie Lowe grew up in the suburbs of Indianapolis, Indiana, where his family introduced him to choral singing at the age of 7. A former beloved counselor at Bloomingfield's Wayne Cross Camp, Charlie is now a semi-professional singer in the realm of Episcopalian choir. He has continued to hone his vocal skills, even traveling internationally to sing with his church. Charlie began playing ultimate at Indiana University for the Hoosier Mamas, later spending his club years with Los Heroes and Breakyard. This upcoming summer, Charlie will be coaching a new mixed team indie team called Bandwagon, where he's not on the mic. Charlie spends his time advocating for Black ultimate players, both in his community and around the country. So please stand to your feet as Charlie opens tonight's showcase with the Black National Anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Lift every voice and rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun, a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won.
Welcome to Arlington, Virginia. We're at Washington Liberty High School Stadium awaiting the Con10ent Tour's 2022 kickoff. Apparently, tonight's event will center on a budding rivalry between two talented all-Black ultimate squads. Lights Out, coached by Izzy Bryant and featuring hometown heroes Alexander Fall, Christian Boxley, Musa Dia, and AJ Merriman. And Dark Matters, coached by AJ Beard, featuring local faves Joe Richards, Del Rico Johnson, and James Pollard. Actually, since I believe it to be a global vaccine, the real focus of the evening is Black joy in a multitude of directions. As we encounter one another, living legends, future champions, forever family, may Black joy accumulate. As we warm our bodies and hearts, tossing plastic, team drilling, trash talking, may Black joy incarnate. As we play the game that stole them with those same hearts, but this time wholly unfettered, may Black joy permeate. As we watch and listen, may we all undergo major upgrades in our Black appreciation, Black celebration, and even Black articulation, unto much more Black joy. Fret not. Since cultivating Black joy is a collective matter, we've brought in a few pillars. Tonight, in the commentary booth, we are joined by veteran Rob Bradford and tour newcomer Charlie Lowe. Welcome to Arlington, Virginia.
And welcome everybody, ladies, gentlemen, otherwise identifying people. We are so happy to have you here on the live stream for our Washington, D.C. stop of the Con10ent Tour 2022.
Oh yeah.
Man, I've been looking forward to this as long as I can remember. Shanice got me hyped up for it for months.
Yeah, it's go time. The Youth Ultimate League of Arlington, Yula, is proud to host the first leg of the Disc.Diversity 2022 Con10ent Tour. I am Rob Bradford, joining Charlie Lowe here in the booth, commentating live.
And I'm so excited to be here with Rob. As is our custom, while admission is free for black patrons, all others are encouraged to pay what they can in order to support both future tour stops and the local communities that enable them. But now it's time. Go ahead. Get comfortable. We're in for quite the celebration.
Oh, yeah.
Be sure to catch the halftime foot race between local Yula youth and the fastest man in Ultimate, Alex Davis. I've heard that a lot recently. I spent a lot of time on Twitter, probably too much. I don't even know if I can really affirm that he's the fastest, though.
I don't know. Alex Fall, I believe, is also.
That sounds correct. Antoine Davis?
Somebody. I don't know who it is.
But it looks like we're getting ready for a first pull.
DK Metcalf?
DK Metcalf. So we've got Dark Matters down on the right side of your screen. They're going to go right to left defensively. Over on the left side of the screen of the field, we've got Lights Out. That is going to be receiving. They're going to be moving from the left to the right. Pull is currently in the hands of, what number is that? His name is Tamir. He's a local high schooler, 16 years old, entrusted with the opening pull of our Washington, D.C. stop. And there's nothing else to be said. I've been looking forward to this. Let's go. The pull is up. And what better way to get started than to pull out of bounds off to the left side of the field.
So if you notice these fire kits by Breakmark Ultimate, the Con10ent jersey designs featuring the skyline of each tour stop host city. Treat yourself to the links. There's links on all the pages, and you can buy replica jerseys, and they're pretty fire, so you should check them out.
Also, shout out to VC Ultimate, B Ultimate, and 5 Ultimate for partnering to pull off the Disc.Diversity buy one get one apparel fundraiser. Not just buy one gift. Sorry, not buy one get one. Buy one gift one. You buy, they give.
Sorry to interrupt, Charlie. That was an amazing bid by Alex, and he almost got it.
And James Pollard with a shot over to the left side of the field. Not going to be completed to Jesse Bolton. Dark Matter is going to pick up the disc now. Looks like Amel is going to pick that disc up. Amel, out of San Francisco, playing for Fury last season, but has recently moved over to the East Coast. Originally from Oakland, Amel wants all of you to know that sleeping with socks on is superior, and if you don't like it, get at her on Twitter, at lemma_nade. Swing to AJ Merriman.
And you can blow up her Twitter, because that is not a true statement.
Oh my God, it's not. She's so wrong. That's Aki Young with the disc. Big fake.
Oh, that was an amazing bid.
That's Delrico Johnson, right? What else would we expect from him than a bid on the opening point for a massive layout?
He decided to let the young Ed know that this is still a game for us old folks, too.
This is still his field. This is his city. This is D.C.
That's right.
Zoe Jordan over to another Lights Out player. The turnover, going to credit that D to Alex Fall.
And he releases a deep one to AJ Merriman. And I'm not sure if that ever came in bounds. So you'll see where they bring it up. They bring it up to where it initially went out of bounds, not where it landed down there.
Yeah, one of those weird quirks in the rules for those of you who might be new to Frisbee. The disc, when it goes out of bounds, if it's not touched, gets put back in that same location.
You might hear some other language, and it's a good time to talk about this. If you notice, both teams have been setting up offensively in what we call a vertical stack. Charlie and I will probably refer to it as a vert stack most of the time. There are vertical stacks and horizontal stacks. And this is the way the offense gets open for those easy cuts. And what's the call? They call it from the field, and
that's inbounds, baby. As you might have heard, that's a goal. That's Sean, they call him the Gazelle Plunkett, playing out of Florida. He's been doing a takeover on the Jacksonville Cannons Instagram, so you should go check out his work. He does great stuff. Additionally, he's a huge advocate for LGBTQ plus rights in Ultimate.
Ooh, look at this replay. The amazing bid to start the replay. And just a quick upline point by Jesse Bolton.
Jesse Bolton's one of the best field generals that Frisbee has these days. Spent a lot of time coming out of the Seattle youth scene, playing for Mixtape, playing for UW. Really, he commands the offense in a way that not a lot of people can compare to in Frisbee. He just sees the field in a way that nobody else does.
And as someone who lived in Seattle for 4 years myself, I must correct Charlie. Nobody says UW, it's UW.
Listen, I'm just a little young man out of Indianapolis, Indiana. I didn't spend time in the big Seattle cities, Rob. So something we have for you to all look forward to over the course of this game. Down on the field, we have what we're going to call a trash talk cam. Now, before any of y'all get offended, remember that this is a celebration of black joy, this is a celebration of black competition, and this is a celebration of black culture. And one of the things most integral to that is trash talk. So you may hear players chiming in from the sidelines every now and then after they've had a big play, a big D, a huge score. Look forward to that.
That was a beautiful pull by Lights Out. And that's a bid.
Wow. Wow. That's all I have to say about that. That's players making plays right there.
Now, one of the hot takes by Coleman, who's not in there right now, said, if you're fast enough, you never have to lay out. I would also argue if the throw's better, you never have to lay out. But that was still a beautiful layout.
Alex Davis got beat to the spot there. Again, have yet to see anything resembling him being, quote-unquote, the fastest man in Ultimate. If you're the fastest man, you shouldn't get beat there. Dark's picking up. Looks off the swing to the middle of the field. That's Terrence Mitchell out of Raleigh. Went to North Carolina Central University, a historical black college and university out of the Triangle area.
Gorgeous score. Oh, a little CPR, a little resuscitation.
That's Jordan Hill. Jordan Hill walked into this group of people this weekend and lit it up with a humor and a fire that I don't think anybody was ready for. If you get the time to ever encounter him or James Pollard, have them tell stories about each other from this weekend. It's wild. But what a celebration. Resuscitating the disc, making sure it's still alive as he points to the camera.
He's letting everybody know at home that he's a player to watch, and I love to see that. And I'd like to say also that the handling by Jalen Matthews was pretty essential that entire point, as she was touching the disc almost every other throw. And that's a very essential thing in Ultimate, to be able to general the field, as they say, and move the disc up and down the field so that somebody can make a big play in the end zone.
Looking at the lines that we've got out here, we're starting to see more players rotating through. Over on the Dark Matter side, disc in his hand is phenom Ed Brown out of the Philadelphia area. You may know him from getting absolutely robbed in the Ulti World's Block of the Year bracket. He lost to Liam Searles Bowes. Liam put up a good play, but Ed pulled the disc, ran down the field, and almost got a Callahan off his own pull. Ladies and gentlemen, I've never seen anything like that. Hoping he's going to show us some of that same magic right here.
I would be remiss also if I didn't mention that for Dark Matters is a friend of mine, Sasha Vogel out there, who commentated the Philadelphia leg of the tour with me, and I'm excited to see him be able to play a point out there. Oh, Jesse just hucks it right back as if he's pulling him back. He decided he did not want to play offense today. We like to call those hospital throws because we throw them up and we hope no one gets hurt.
We had a term for that over at IU. When you're playing in some conditions or really just trying to send a message to the other team, we call it huck, and I'm going to use the word stuff here for the kids at home. John Jones from Indiana University soars in for the grab. John plays for the Chicago Union this coming season. You'll be able to catch him making waves in the Midwest region. Ed catches the disc on the far sideline, fakes off. Over to Musa. Musa out of the DC area.
Looks to me like a pick was called. There's a lot of moments in Ultimate where the players will stop to discuss a call that's happening. If you notice, Ultimate is self-officiated at this level. It's only at the pro level that they have officials. And so they will stop and discuss what is happening.
Swing to Amel. Gets bumped a little bit on the disc spot. Ed with a nice lefty fake. Look at the snap on that.
And there's a score.
Listen, there's nothing to say here except for the fact Dark came to play. Musa Dia out of the DC area. Huge bid to grab that disc as he swags around on the sideline.
I'm pretty sure this is Musa Dia's home field is what I heard. And so he grew up right here, and he's no stranger to making plays like that on this field.
As we're getting the replay, look at that. Takes the time to secure the catch in the bread basket before sliding out to finish the score out. Gets the high five from AJ Merriman, also the DC area. I mean, this is just players making plays all day. I don't think I've had this much fun watching Ultimate in a long time, Rob.
That is a good observation. Now, I will say that I was at the Yula Invite all day today watching high school students play, and that was also pretty awesome. I love seeing the joy of high school students play during the Yula Invite all over Northern Virginia.
So Dark Matters is going to be pulling from the left side of your screen. Lights Out going to be receiving on that right side, moving right to left.
Oh, looks like they're giving Tamir a second chance on his pull. I saw him pulling today during the tournament, and he's got a great pull, so I know he's going to bring it home this one. There it is.
There it is. Puts it up on a shelf. Got a lot of zip as it moves down the field. It'll be fielded by Lights Out as they start moving to Zoe Wrath. Ooh, and you heard the crowd. Oh, they wanted the deep throw, and eventually they got it as it is caught in the end zone by Jenny DeJesus. Jenny DeJesus. Oh, she showed up today like a thunderbolt. Hit the pictures, hit the lines, hit the warm-ups. You can feel the energy shift when she walked on the field. That's a player who commands respect but brings the levity. As you see her calmly read this disc, does not get the intimidity from Alex Fall.
I will tell you that Jenny is being told that she is, I've been told that she is the funniest person on the Disc.Continent Tour. And every time I talk to her, I think that has been confirmed. So while we have a little break here, we'd be remiss not to mention our Yula sponsors, our invite organizers, without whom we would sincerely not be here. We got Elise. Oh. We've got someone talking trash. We'll come back in a moment.
This is not my own line, but I just heard someone say after Jenny made that play, "What you cooking out here besides a meal?"
Oh my goodness gracious. I think that these people have families. Oh, an excellent pull from Lights Out. Dark's deep in their own end zone. There's Jenny back on the mark, ready to No, that's not Jenny. I do apologize.
You realize quickly how important a really good pull is in this game. I think that's something that people do not put enough emphasis on while playing.
It's Alex Davis over on the far side of the field. Not known for his throwing. That was a beautiful up line. Looks like he's trying to put the haters to sleep. Another upline throw, wonderful layout grab. Dark really just marching it up that far side of the field until Ed drops it under pressure from Delrico Johnson. Again, Delrico's known for the high-flying blocks, huge skies, but if you were to ask him, I think the thing he really cares about is his pressure defense. He wants you to know that he's in your pocket. We saw the throw pop up there, Rob. The conditions today have been absolutely just nuts, right?
The fact that most of these throws, you couldn't tell that it's as windy as it is out here shows how great all of these players are.
Deep throw from Ed Brown. Alex Davis not able to field the grab, unfortunately. Fast enough to the spot, not good enough with his hands. Sorry, that wasn't Alex Davis, that was Christian Boxley. Let me put the respect back on Alex's name and take it away from Christian. Ooh, looks like we're going to get a pick call out of the stack. Just to give you some clarification, a pick in Ultimate is when the defensive player has their path obstructed to the offensive player. It has to be called within what is called generally guarding space, which is about 10 feet.
And it's important to note that the pick does not have to be on purpose. I think for beginning players, I didn't do anything, people will say. It's rarely on purpose. It's just crowded and it's a safety rule.
Something that we're seeing over here on the white side, as Delrico takes the patience and reads that disc all the way, they're really using both sides of the field. They're taking time to swing the disc back and forth. They're getting all of the angles available to them. There's a lot of athletes, there's a lot of players making plays out here. But Delrico fields in the middle of the field. Having all those options, having all of that space is going to let them maximize their offense.
I noticed the famous Jesse Bolton has the headset on the field. Would you like to say something, Jesse?
Shooter's got to shoot, and you shoot to get hot to stay hot.
Love it. Love it.
Fantastic, Jesse. Any insights so far through the game?
Well, Amel got cooked that one play.
That's what we heard up here.
Oh, it was tough. But, you know, I don't like trying to work it from the back of my own end zone. So I just threw that baby up. It would stall one.
Yeah, saw that. You were basically said, hey, Ed, I can throw this too.
Yeah, right? Like, who does he think he is? He's like 19.
I mean, Del Rico's showing him a thing or two about what the old heads can do, putting that pressure on him.
Yeah. Yeah, pancake catches are out of style.
But that was a hand block, and hand blocks are definitely in style.
Who needs downfield defense when you're getting hand blocks? All right, we better convert this. Rico. Oh,
That's a beautiful upline cut.
Rico. Throw error.
Throw error. One of my favorite absolute calls. It's never the receiver's fault, always the thrower's fault, right, Jesse?
Every time.
Especially when it's Rico.
Especially when it's Rico. Del Rico Johnson taking his talents to mixed club team Fleet out of Baltimore, Maryland.
Now, if you notice, I keep coming back to this vert stack, but this time it seemed that they set up in more of a side stack to give as much space as possible. That throw was a little bit too far.
Lots of pepper.
Jordan Hill said that he was out to get stats. Looks like the stats he's out to get are some turnovers.
It's still kind of stats.
Still kind of stats. You know, it's lights out, it's dark matters. Jordan Hill, one-man campaign to show us that stats matter.
Love it.
Rico walks the disc up to that far left corner. Looks off the free, and when I say free, I mean 5-finger discount free swing to the middle of the field until there's finally a defender on it, because why not make the job harder for yourself? It looks like we got Jenny DeJesus down next to the mic.
Funniest person on the tour. Wonder what she wants to say.
Looks like a foul, no contest on the field. Lights out has to this.
That's Spirit. All right. Am I on?
You're on, Jenny.
Oh, sick. I just want somebody to drop in the comments, just give me a name, someone faster than Alex Davis. I kind of feel like they're here at this field, but I don't know.
You don't know, huh?
No, I think there's somebody faster. I do. All right, I'll see y'all.
See you, Jenny. See you, Jenny. And that's Debo of the Northeastern Valkyries bringing the disc in on the sideline.
That's a beautiful throw.
Oh, just doesn't quite. You can see the wind push it down a little bit. Jordan makes the athletic play. He's still on the field.
We'll wait to see if he's hurt or if he's just taking his time.
It's one of those pride injuries. Sometimes those take a little bit longer to recover from, Rob.
They do. They do.
Do we have timeouts? Like, can we sub everybody? This play's been going forever. I'm getting cold. Might have to re-warm up.
Ooh.
Now.
The tie goes to the offense. So you see how quickly Jordan let go and said, yeah, you got me.
But ball don't lie.
Ball don't lie.
So at some point, one of these teams has to decide they want to score. So we'll see if that happens.
Word on the street is Terrence Mitchell is faster than Alex Davis.
Terrence Mitchell.
Did Rico just get stuffed by Ed? Did Ed literally just tell Rico no?
Oh, look at that grab.
And that's Jordan.
Absolutely amazing.
And that's also Jordan, but on the lights out team. Rico saves possession for lights out.
And
huge
he wants
floating flick hug. And the receiver's just not going to make it down there.
These points are tough because these points are tiring. And so at some point you realize that what you want is the quick little throws that are going to move up the field for you. But you get tired and you just start hucking. And then you got to keep running back and forth and back and forth. So if you're ever playing Ultimate and you're out there on a long point, short throws, short throws, short throws.
Or call a timeout.
Or call a timeout.
And I want to make a clarification. Jordan Hill.
Oh, timeout has been called.
Timeout has been called. I'm going to make this clarification real quick. Jordan Hill is on lights out. Jordan Green was the Man who took the extra time for the pride injury down on the left
Do
side.
we
of
get
the field.
subs?
So this is a great time for us to go back to what I was saying earlier about recognizing the 3 key Yula invite organizers without whom we would be sincerely not here. Elise Jackson is a local team founder and high school coach of nearly every team for at least one season, a 10-year Yula board member and lead of Yula's anti-racism committee.
Michael Klemenich, he is the Yula Invite Tournament Director, and Dan McCabe, a well-connected and big dreaming jack of all trades. In every city, the tour participants have been welcomed into the homes and hearts of local strangers, soon turned family. This and every stop continue to be shouldered by invisible community giants among men.
Last, but in no way least, the spark that set ablaze what is certain to be a fiery showcase is none other than DC Ultimate Community stalwart AJ Merriman. Many thanks to you all. And if you've been following Twitter at all, AJ Merriman has been in charge of the Being Ulti account all week leading up to this, and it's been fun watching him engage with the Ultimate community.
Yeah. AJ Merriman came in like a black thunderbolt on the Being Ulti account, and I don't know about you all. I've been enjoying his content. It's been fantastic. Maybe a little bit divisive at times, but I think we can all get behind a young man who cares above all else about making everyone know that his community in his mind is the best and that he's willing to prove it anytime he steps on the field.
So we were talking, if you noticed, that the coaches were out there coaching. We got AJ Beard coaching Dark Matters and Izzy Bryant Rolling coaching Lights Out. We'll talk about them later in our next break.
Disc is being brought in on that far right end zone corner by Aki Young.
Looking
stops.
for an upline throw.
Boxley receives. Another stoppage on the field.
They're discussing whether or not he was inbound, maybe.
Remember that ultimate frisbee being self-officiated, it's on the players to make that call as they think it is fair and think it is accurate. Aki receives the swing. Mark stops the continued around.
Oh.
Drop by Jordan Green. Jordan Hill working to control his stop. And Delrico Johnson is going to go pick up the disc on the far left sideline. Ed active on the mark, really taking away that around throw. And that's Hakeem Adeyemi receiving.
And there it is.
You see Lights Out jog onto the field. You see the players' shoulders relax in celebration after a long point finally comes to an end. The new player is excited to get out there and get back to being warm.
Yes. Those are one of those points that feels really good when you score it at the end. And honestly, even if you don't score, you're just happy that it's over.
All right, looking at some replay here. Got a throw. Big D from Jordan Green. Over here, the huge layout from Jordan Hill.
Everyone loves a nice house. And the eventual score by Jana Graham from Jackson, New Jersey.
So far, Rob, the thing I think that we're seeing the most of is that it's cold out there and it's a little bit windier. Discs are going up and down, and the players are doing lots and lots of running. It doesn't necessarily seem like they mind, because at the end of the day, it's better than standing on the sideline freezing.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's going to be a little different than the next leg of the Con10ent Tour, which is going to touch down in Houston on Saturday, April 30th at Rice University. So that'll probably be a little bit hotter than it is here today.
Yeah, be on the lookout for player and volunteer applications. Not only do we have a stop coming, that Houston stop coming on April 30th, but we've got upcoming stops in Denver and Tampa Bay. Look out for player applications, volunteer application, and date announcements to be coming your way from the Disc.Diversity social media. Mastermind Shani Crawford's going to get those put together for us real soon. Jalen Matthews slides, grabs the disc on the far left sideline. AJ Merriman really active in that reset space. They're going to move it upfield to Terrence Mitchell, who's going to rip. Huge backhand huck.
But inside position is given to Lights Out.
And that was, looks like Torin who took that away. Zoe Rath's going to go pick that disc up. Looking calm. So Who are they going to drop back with her? I see James Pollard jogging back to accompany her.
I tell you what, speed definitely kills, but inside position can beat it almost every time.
Amel with some phenomenal lane defense really puts her body in the way to stop those first couple throws, but not in a way that endangers herself nor any cutters coming in. Air bounce from James Pollard. They're going to move inside to Musa. He's going to rip a huge backhand. And we almost had a situation there, Rob. They tell you probably your first or second practice as a rookie, there's one thing that you should know, and that is to catch your Ds. Why do you do that? Because if you don't catch your Ds, you give the offender another chance to make a play, and we almost saw that in that end zone.
And some people think it looks really cool to hit the disc down really hard. That's not true. There's nothing better than snagging out of the air to let them know you also play offense.
I had a coach who loved to preach that boring offense and boring defense is the best way to play Frisbee. It might not look cool for the camera, but maintaining possession and making scores is what it's all about. But that's not why we're here at the Con10ent Tour, Rob.
I was just going to say, it might be better offense, but it's not more fun.
Musa racking up another D on A.J. Merriman, stops the disc, and we're going to see James Pollard walk over to pick that up. Moving upfield. Big huck. Well read by Torin. Looking for some help.
Oh, it's slippery out there.
Jenny
makes a beautiful cut.
And that is a...
But that's the AUDL Defensive Player of the Year, A.J. Merriman, I believe.
DPOTY?
I'm pretty sure.
Big backhand fake.
That's a backhand I would not want to get in front of.
Terrence Mitchell receives up the line. A.J. Merriman giving him another up the line throw.
And that's
huge
a put.
Oh!
He had a play on it.
Did have a play on it. I do apologize. I misnamed somebody again. We're still working out the Kingston's broadcast. That was Musa who just got missed that catch over there. James Pollard receives. Lights out, moving it up that far sideline. Content to take these big swings. And not able to finish the play out in the end zone. Again, these points are going to get long.
And that's what happens in the wind and the cold. You'll see more drops. You'll see harder throws. The conditions matter in every outdoor sport that you ever play, and it's true in Ultimate as well.
Something else worth pointing out is that this is a turf field, and we did get some weather earlier. There's a good chance that not only is that disc cold, but it's wet too, and it's going to make it a little bit harder to hold on to on those catches and throws, especially if they're coming in with some heat.
This is AD on the mic. We're working the disc upfield right now. I don't think the light team can hold us. We got a whole bunch of athletes. We got a whole bunch of throwers, and we're working it, chipping it up. AJ's got the disc upfield to Terrence. That's a shooter, natural born. Little chip to AJ. He's a shooter. Little bobble, but it doesn't matter. The light team can't hold us. It's too much. It's too easy. We're working it, chipping it. North Carolina Ultimate coming in here. We're going deep.
Oh, big block, though.
Big block by Jenny there. She's all over the field, and she's calling her second timeout. Beautiful timeout here on this long point.
One of those classic kind of ultimatisms is the veteran call. You know it, you love it, you've seen it, whether you know it or not. It's the big huck that didn't quite score, timeout on the end zone. It's the, or in this case from Jenny to Jesus, it's the, man, this point has just gone on for too dang long. I'm tired, give me some water.
Back here again, eh?
Jesse Bolton back on the mic. What's going on, Jesse?
I tried to go play on the D-line this point, and they were like, you got to be 6 foot to play on the D-line. I was like, well, that's tough.
Listen, Jesse, we stand a short king up here in the booth.
Hey, they're just mad they can't throw.
Ooh. Shots fired.
It's fine.
Aren't you supposed to trash talk the other team, not your own team?
Ain't nobody safe. Shout out to Noise. No one is safe ever.
Shout out to Noise. Ain't nobody safe ever. Hey, Jesse, while we got you here on the mic, you told me a little bit earlier that one of the things you care a lot about right now is really promoting women's sports. Do you care to chime in on that at all?
Yeah, sure. So I'm coaching the Seattle Cascades this year, and we have a women's team as well, the Seattle Tempest. doing our best to accommodate their needs whenever there are like field complications. We'll always take the back seat. They always get the fields, always get the resources. I've invested in OL Reign tickets. I had never gone to a women's professional soccer game before, and I just jumped right in the deep end, got season tickets. Khalif and I upgraded our season tickets for the Storm this year.
Nice.
We got that new arena, and got to see Sue's last year.
You have to.
Gotta see Sue's last year. That's a living legend right there.
And yeah, I'm dedicated to spending my full Cascades compensation on Women's Ultimate. I've gone ahead and got 4 of the PUL sponsors and looking to help out more where I can.
Jesse, that's perfectly fantastic. We love that. Thank you for being a leader on and off the field and showing us what it's all about.
Yep, O-line, my turn.
AJ
Nice.
Merriman, massive air to bring that disc down for the score despite 2 closing defenders. He's told us that he's good in the air. That might be the proof we're looking for, but remains to be seen.
Oh, and here it is. This was that defense that started it all off. AJ Merriman going out with that big smile, the big smile that makes AJ famous.
There's a turnover, and there it is. AJ calmly and collectively reads that disc, gets up over the 2 closing defenders, brings that score down, and a wonderfully executed kick spike.
And what you didn't see was the toss by the young high schooler Tamir Hill Marshall.
And he's really making a difference so
He's
far.
doing a
He
good
came
job.
out here and said,
Yo.
listen, I can run with y'all.
Can I hop in here real quick, yo?
Yes,
I
let's
just
hear
want
it,
to say
AJ.
no trash talk, no trash talk. It's just you got dumb swing. That's the key to ultimate, all right?
Dumb
That's
swing.
all. Dumb swing, baby, all day.
Dump
Dump
swing from the man
swing.
himself.
Coach Charlie, do you want to explain the dump swing for anybody who might be listening that doesn't know what a dump swing is?
It's real easy. You've got the disc and you're in what we call the backfield. That means you're looking at receivers downfield. You got 1 or 2 other people in the backfield with you. You've got no receivers open. You need to keep the disc moving to keep the stall fresh. You're going to take a look at one of those receivers, maybe one to your right, one to your left. You're going to stop. You're going to throw them an easy dump pass. And then if it calls for it, maybe you're trapped on the sideline, you're going to swing the disc back to the middle of the field. It doesn't matter. Jenny DeJesus, huge bid, save possession in the middle of the field. To Jesse Bolton,
And
rips
there's
a huck. Testing John Jones. Don't test John Jones. John Jones undefeated in the air. We have a saying at Indiana University, there you go, that's John Jones, and he showing out for the Hoosiers today.
Oh, that's a little floaty.
But Jenny's trying to eat that up.
Oh,
Sasha
and
Vogel
Sasha
collects
takes
it.
somebody out.
Sasha Vogel picking Debo up, helping her get dusted off, making sure that she's calm and collected. Debo's going to take the injury, get off the point, get some water real quick. Going on for her, it looks like it's Amel. Listen, Debo's a talented player. Amel's a talented player. I'm real good having either of those outstanding women matching players on my line right now. Sasha with the disc in the middle of the field, looking, grip and rip.
And he rips it.
And Alex Fall, that speed that I've heard so much about, once again loses out to Rob Bradford's inside positioning as Sef Abdullah gets the D right there and takes the disc to that far left cone, looking to move left to right. Taking off down, you see Jesse Bolton. He's going. He's going. John Jones chasing. This is going to sail back out of bounds. Luckily, that disc was inbounds for a good amount of its flight, so they're probably not going to have the disc too far from that point where it exited the field space.
And if you notice that inside positioning, the reason why that's so important is because of something that the mark is doing called the force. And they are forcing the disc to only go one side, so the defender downfield knows where to go in order to play it. Just like that, inside position.
Sef Abdullah told us we could look out for him for the nice bun that he's rocking in tribute to Olivia Miles from the Notre Dame women's basketball team today. Jenny DeJesus saves possession again. Goodness gracious.
She is all over the field and just doing it calmly and quietly.
Jesse rips another huck, looking downfield.
Quarterback Bolton with the score.
And that's Sean Plunkett. They call him the Gazelle. I call him just a wonderful human being. Told us we could look for the pink. I'm thinking that we could look for him in the end zone. That's 2 goals today. It's going to bring our score to 4-3.
We are playing this game to 15. Oh, here comes the package. Oh!
Big layout, one-handed grab from Jenny De Jesus. Big block from Seth Abdullah. There we
and
see
another layout.
Jenny's
She's all
everywhere
over the
today.
place.
She can't be stopped, won't be stopped. And Sean going to his knees to secure that disc to get another goal for Lights Out. We've got a D-line on. Looking around, I see James Pollard. I see Jakeem Polk. I see Zoe Rath. What else we got down there, Rob?
I believe that's Coleman down there.
Coleman's down on the field.
You say Zoe?
I did say Zoe. I see Delrico Johnson.
And Miss Graham.
And Miss Janet
Jackson,
Graham.
New Jersey.
James Pollard, huge rip. He's really trying to take Ed Brown's best puller in Philly crown.
Yeah, that was amazing.
They're going to bury Dark Matters in the back of the end zone. And that picked up was Kalia Dodge over to A.J. Merriman. A.J. takes the easy swing pass over to Amel, moves it over to Alex Davis on the far left sideline, into the middle to Terrence.
It's a great lineup for Dark Matters here. They expect to score with this lineup.
Yeah, looking around, there's a lot of multifaceted players on this team. No one, and on this line specifically, no one really specializes in one thing, but some confusion going on.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening. Looked like somebody made a call and it was not recognized immediately.
Terrence, huge bullet downfield. Amel giving chase.
Wow.
And that's Kyla out of Hudson, New York, number 5. Said we could watch out for the red cleats. And you saw her, the closing speed was outstanding. Amel had steps on steps, and Kyla said, I don't think so. Closed that distance, really pressured that, and Amel was not able to come up with the grab as Del Rico walks the disc back to the front end zone. Swing is stopped by AJ to James Pollard. Nice easy upfield to, and Jakeem said I'm pretty okay not throwing that. Gonna swing over to Zoe, secures that. Gonna go back to Jakeem Polk. Jakeem Polk, noteworthy. He used to be a D2 football player. As you see him showing off the speed, he started in D2 football, found Ultimate Frisbee through some friends.
That was a toe grab.
And that, an absolutely massive grab.
Coleman.
That's Coleman again, man. He's all over the field. We're calling his name a lot now.
Lights Out has been moving the disc quite amazingly on offense.
Look at that, a body control. Look at the awareness of where that sideline is. He had a good yard of space, but really took the time, kept his toes down, and secured that disc.
Coleman's from Baltimore, but one of the captains of HVAC here in the DC area. Someone's coming on the mic. What you got for us?
Dark gets a TMF for not matching the 4-3 ratio that Mixed Ultimate's playing at.
Were they 5-2?
They're 5-2, and they still got scored on. Tough. Yeah, maybe they need an extra person.
Man.
Is there a gen zone? I did not see that call at the beginning of the game.
5-2 is not a call you can call in the gen zone.
That is a good point.
It's got to be a 4-3 or 3-4.
You are correct. You are correct.
All right, let's go get another break. Slight work. Thanks, y'all.
Of course, thank you, Jesse. So what Jesse was referring to, when you play Mixed Ultimate, you have to maintain a ratio of at least 3 women's matching players on the field at all times. A lot of teams are playing either 3-4, meaning 3 men's matching players, 4 women's matching players, or 4-3, 4 men's matching players, 3 women's matching players. What he was letting us know is that the Dark team didn't match that ratio on that point and had only 2 women's matching players on, but it didn't matter. Wyatt marched down the field.
And I believe they're doing it again.
Yeah, looking down there, I see only Amel and Aki Young. And I'm wondering if that Debo getting shaken up earlier, if she's just taken a moment to collect herself. before she starts going back on the field. Remember, these points have been long. It's cold out, so when you take those hard falls, they would stay with you a little bit longer. Aki over to Amel. Amel unfazed by the pressure into Christian Boxley. That's Alex Fall, pressured by Hakeem Adeyemi. Ooh, saucy lefty inside, lefty backhand to Amel. Alex Fall really showing his full range as a thrower.
Dark Matters is down 5-3 here, so this score is extremely essential.
And we're seeing the speed and seeing it not matter as Hakeem Adeyemi gets huge over Christian Boxley and Alex Fall for that D.
And if you notice, that was the throw. So Alex Davis was making the perfect cut, and the throw was just a little off. As we said, the conditions are rough out here tonight.
And that's Brianna Craig from Kingston, Jamaica, picking the disc up, taking it to that front. Mel throws the mark on. That's blocked by the Dark Matters player. Wonderful, wonderful read.
Akina Young out of New York City.
The other thing they say is you don't have to get a layout D if you're fast enough. You can just run straight through, and that's what Aki just showed us. Boxley. Oh. And gotta wonder here if he regrets not taking the time to really set up. Throw a nice throw to Aki as the disc is dropped. Hakeem Adeyemi is going to call a foul there. Call for the strip. They're going to go ahead and reset on the mark. Hakeem not seeing anything he wants. Jenny De Jesus with the disc. It's over to Jordan Hill. Swings the disc over back to Brianna. Looks off the receiver. And that's Torn with the disc. Puts the huck up.
And she's
all
open.
Alone receiver, but Alex Fall closing speed. What a absolute beauty of a layout block from Alex Fall.
This is the question. Who's the fastest person on the field? Because that was speed.
The rumor that I heard is he's at 95%. And by rumor, I mean that came from his own mouth. And if he's not performing at top speed, you got to wonder, would he have needed to bid for that if he had his full self today?
That's a good question.
Amel not able to handle the disc off the throw from Ed Brown, and with a short field, we're going to see Lights Out set up their offense. Jenny De Jesus receives in the backfield, looks off the swing. And that's some huge pressure from Musa Dia on Torrent to get that D. Ed Brown puts up a blade. Musa able to receive it. All alone is A.J. Merriman.
He's got to put it in the air.
Doesn't throw it, surprising. Christian Boxley looks off the upline. All alone in the backfield, Aki Young, and Dark's gonna settle into some nice, easy offense now. Upline, White not able to switch. Aki, huge bid to save possession. Goodness gracious, we're getting a show right now. And there's a score. We got Shanique Crawford up here.
Well, 5-4, this game is incredible, am I right? But more spectacular than the talent on the field to me is the excellence in the heart of all these beautiful black humans. You hear me? We've got data scientists, computer programmers, electrical engineers, students, coaches, fathers, mothers, teens. And despite the outward similarity of our hues, y'all, we are the walking epitome of diversity. Oh my goodness, I've been on camera this whole time. Good night. I was watching Lemonade, y'all. Excellent documentary, shout out Beyonce. As I watched it, the opening scene, I realized in a real way that our ancestors crossed the ocean in a handbasket. I'll say that again, our ancestors crossed the ocean in a handbasket. We shouldn't be here. We shouldn't be standing here. We shouldn't thrive the way that we do but we do because we're strong. We are excellent. I hope that all of y'all watching are looking at us past our incredible talent, at our hearts, at our needs, at our fears. And I hope that even after this game is done, y'all will keep on looking at us, yeah? I think that's all.
Thank you, thank you. That was a word.
The thing that I've learned and really come to appreciate about Shani, as I've really gotten a lot of time to talk with her, to get to know her, to get to feel her spirit and her message, is that truly there is not someone in the ultimate community who cares about uplifting Black people the way that she does, who cares about making our stories public, who cares about making us feel heard, feel felt, feel supported, and at the end of the day, just feel loved. Shani Crawford is a pillar, and I hope that y'all all get the joy of connecting with her later on in y'all's lives.
All I can do is co-sign that. Thanks, Charlie. I completely agree.
So it looks like we're taking a halftime here. Score is 5-4. This has gone on a little bit longer than a timeout. We're going to go ahead and take a quick second to get that confirmed.
So one thing I hope everyone sees at home as they're down there, they're noticing there are a lot of smiles. It is 40 degrees out here. It is cold, and there are so many smiles through the competitive play. Let me be clear. These teams have been talking trash to each other all day. Neither of these teams wants to walk home with a loss, but they're also just, there's so much Black joy out here, and that is real, and it is palpable. One of the things that I just wanted to share, the idea of this tour and why it means so much to me, is the idea of just being able to be comfortable on an ultimate field in my skin, being able to not be one of one or one of two on the field, Black people playing, and just seeing this Black excellence on this field is amazing. And the other thing that I absolutely love is all the different shades and the hues. And I'm going to throw it to, I believe, AJ Merriman. Who's down there? Alex?
Alex Fall, AJ Merriman on the mic. What's going on, boys?
What you got for us?
Oh, I just want to introduce Air Force One out here. Y'all see him flying around. I just want to make sure y'all know it's not a UFO. We got Alexander Fall out here.
Let's hear it, Alex.
Hey, this is Alexander Fall. I want to shout out my man Musa. We've been boys since elementary school. You saw him get that pivotal block. That's going to get dark, excuse me. Back in this game, we're going to get dubbed. Yeah, shout out the announcers. First time on air, shout out my mom. Thanks for covering us.
Love it. That's Alex Fall, DC own. He is here from... Yeah, he is here from DC. He plays for the DC Breeze and Truck Stop. He was out all last season with the DC Breeze on account of a broken leg, not just a sore leg, a broken leg, and he's ready to play this season. He's excited. I believe the DC Breeze starts April 30th is when their season starts.
Yeah, we're coming up on AUDL season. We are also already in the midst of Western Ultimate League season. That is the Women's Professional Ultimate League out on the West Coast. We're going to get some replay on for you. Just go ahead and enjoy these highlights. This is players making plays. You know, all through this first half, we've seen the showcase, right?
Yep.
We've seen huge blocks. We've seen graceful bids to save possession. We've seen some great air. We've seen some huge throws, some massive pulls. Usually the way I think these games go, though, is the first half is the yeah, we're all here, we're John, we're playing. And second half is where you really see the intensity turn up. These are all, at the end of the day, highly competitive individuals. Every single person out there on the field wants to win this game. And you're going to see a lot of that. I think you're going to really see the heat turn up in the second half. It's cold on the field, but not for long.
So, Charlie, got any predictions on who's going to pull this close game out? It's a low-scoring game, so I think defense is winning tonight. But who do you think is going to pull this off?
My gut tells me that the dark team, the number of plays that we really started to see them generate at the end of that second half is going to start culminating in points. Yeah, we're getting these long possessions, these long points. At some, you know, eventually you get to the point where those blocks turn into points, and, you know, White is getting, they have pressure on White every single time that White tries to move the disc. I think the team that's going to get it done is the team that's able to take that pressure and keep calm. But man, oh man, do I really think that Dark's starting to really generate. As we see Sasha jog onto the field with the slow core booty shorts.
He loves them. He loves them.
Showing them off. Sasha Vogel, I want to take the time. What a pillar of the community. He came on to, you know, started his ultimate career. He played at BYU. Kai was a force for them. And he really came, you know, into the ultimate community and really kind of took on that role as kind of like everyone's dad. And and everyone's favorite cooking channel?
He does a lot of great things, yes. Disc golfer, cooker, yeah, everything.
You'd be hard-pressed to find somebody who has meant as much to the community as Sasha has in the last 24 months. We see AD
Jakeem Polk
giving us a little dance lesson on the dark, down on the dark line. And we see James Pollard rip a huge pull, and we're starting the second half.
That was Alex Davis dancing. I apologize. There's 2 number 80s. I would like to say before this starts that I was going to also say that Dark Matters was my prediction, but I'm a contrarian, so I'm picking Lights Out.
Guess we're going to have to see what happens, Rob. All right, swing to the sideline. That's Kalia. Terrence back in the middle. Swings again to Amel. Tamir with a wonderful cut, a lot of space to go to, but the huge pressure from Coleman taking that throw away as Kalia ends up receiving the disc. Swings inside.
It's always a dangerous throw.
Dangerous throw, and Jakeem Polk made Dark Matters pay. As James gets the disc in the backfield. Received by Sean Plunkett. Throw away. Jenny, fast as she has been all game, not able to go reel that one in. Terrence over on that far sideline. It's got Alex Davis streaking. Throw does not go up. Jakeem Polk with him every step of the way. Tamir receives.
That came in hot, but you know what? It worked out.
And Kalia saves that disc. Man, she's been huge on this point, hasn't she?
She has. She's been all over the field.
Swing over to Tamir. That's Jalen receiving the disc. Number 69.
Nice.
Jalen did want me to tell you all that she has what she likes to consider big pull energy. As you're watching this game, follow her through her ultimate career, she prides herself on being that fastest person down on the pull each time and wants to let you all know that you should all fake it till you make it. Smiley face. Ooh. Terrence saves possession from one knee. Alex Davis.
You know what? We're going to give a tertiary assist to Sasha Vogel because he needs a stat. So we're going to give him that tertiary assist, the hockey assist as they call it, because we're trying to spice up Sasha.
Given some clarification, the hockey assist is the person who throws to the person who gets the assist. So in this case, Sasha fielding that disc in the middle of the field, throwing to Terrence. Terrence gets that credit for the assist on paper, but Sasha's the one who sets that all up to begin with. There he is, saving possession from the one knee, doesn't even need to stand up. Alex streaking across the field to the open side for a goal.
Charlie, I was reading something today, yesterday actually, where a guy was saying that he wants to introduce some new rules to Ultimate. And one of them is that when you catch the disc on the ground, you have to stay on the ground to throw the disc, like just happened in that point. What do you think about that rule? Like you can't get up like in basketball.
So it's a travel if you stand up?
Correct.
Interesting. I don't know how I feel that. I think it puts players in a dangerous position.
It's AD back on the mic.
AD, what's going on?
None of these people can guard me. None of them can run with me either.
None of them,
I was run a halftime race, but no one came out because they were scared.
Ooh, the fear.
And it's all day. It's 5-5 now. It says 4-5, but it's 5-5, and we take it over.
You heard it there first, Alex Davis telling us we're going to take over, and a pull that goes so far away that it might as well have changed zip codes.
And I'm not going to lie to you. Can't blame that one on the wind. So, Charlie, the question. You don't like it. You think it's dangerous.
I think it puts players in dangerous positions. You know, if you catch the disc on the ground, that sure, you know where you're at, right? But now you're putting the onus on the defensive players running around to try to pull up and stop
Without kicking you in the head.
Without kicking you in the head, and to try to mark. You know, you'd think it might be easy, but I think that you get a lot of foul calls for inadvertent, you know, contact. I think it's safer to let players get up and establish that pivot foot and play the way we are. Swing back to Jesse Bolton.
I think there are some out there who aren't that as concerned with safety, but I agree with your point.
Might have heard a lot about bad bids this week. Remember that a bad bid, as defined by A.J. Berriman, is a bid that puts you out of position to make a defensive play. Friend of the show and STF All-Star Joe Peanut Dweck. You may have heard him referred to as Who is Joe Dweck, dropping off a gift for the commentators. We love you, Joe. We thank you for all that you do in your continued work in the D.C. area. Aki Young starting the offense off for Dark Matters in the end zone line. Swing over to, looks like Kalia. Moves inside to John Jones. Swings, dumps off to Christian Boxley, back to John. John looking upfield, nothing going though as Aki takes over. Going downfield, she continues the deep cut, does not go up though. Ed Brown wide open in the middle of that space, arms out, like where is the disc, why didn't I have it sooner?
A pick was called.
Pick was called, Aki sends the disc back to Ed Brown.
Hope you are realizing that today is a masterclass in Ultimate. It's not as flashy as some other highlights if you only watch highlights, but when you see the way that the disc is being handled tonight by these great players, so there's a lot of great defense going on. So it's not just going to be simple hucks that go up, but it has to be smart throws and quick throws and amazing footwork, and you've seen it tonight. It's pretty impressive.
And remember why we're all here, as we compliment the players on their ability, right? This is a celebration of, you know, a celebration and a showcase of black excellence and Ultimate. There's a lot of players on this field that I admit myself, I didn't even know until I took the time to start talking with them earlier, as we see Ed Brown intercept that pass. Ed Brown, 18 years old. 18. The oldest player here has about 14 years on Ed, and he's still the second youngest person out there. Tamir is 16. We've got a wide range of players out here. Everyone looks like a pro on this field right now.
It's amazing.
That's Joe Richards with the disc. Fakes the big huck. Going to shoot to Seth Abdullah. Rips the backhand. John Jones doesn't read quite as well as Torin. Torin got all day. Shakes the disc out looking for some teammates.
Oh, the hand block. And no foul called. That means it was clean.
I felt that hand block up here.
It was spicy. Spicy for sure.
I know John pretty well. He likes a big layout D. He likes a big sky. One of the things he prides himself on is his marking ability. He's got some real gangly arms. He's been hunting for that hand block for a minute.
I love a good hand block. Sometimes they hurt in this weather, though.
Christian Boxley suffocating mark from Joe. John Jones drops back. No swing coming. Stall's got to be getting pretty high. Pressure from Zoe, and AJ does not able to complete that grab. Del Rico picks up. Fakes the backhand. Over to Jesse. Jesse, is he really faking anything or just kind of waving the disc around, Rob?
I don't know. Whatever he does works every single time.
Little known fact about Jesse, co-captain of team sits on shoulders. He and Khalif El Salam pride themselves on their ability in the air. And that disc is going to go back.
Now that's an interesting call, because what happened was Zoe caught that disc and then ran into the end zone. And in order to make the next throw, she has to come out of the end zone, and she did not do that.
All right, she's got the disc.
But it scores nevertheless.
Dumps it off to Torin. You saw that coming all day long. John had the pressure on, but Torin had the easy lane.
So speaking of a hand block, which I love, I have another. I was reading this wonderful article this week about Ultimate, and there was another. Oh, we'll wait for this. Let's see these replays here. That was beautiful, D. That was just a beautiful grab there by Ed.
He reads the throw the entire way, just snags it out of the air. Zoe's able to get inside on that. As I said, we're going to see the defensive intensity ramp up. These players are smart, and these players are hungry for that W. They are going to be inside taking the disc away, playing those lanes, really, really, really working to, I mean, it's no easy buckets, right, Rob?
Nothing easy. Nothing easy.
You got to earn that all day long.
So as I was saying, I have another hot take for you, Charlie. The other thing I was reading was someone who was pushing for the idea that you should be able to hit the disc out of the hand of the handler. So he said that it adds a different level to the game, and that you can create fakes and make movements, but that if they are swinging wildly at the disc like that, then you can beat them even differently. What are your thoughts on that?
I think plain and simple, I don't like it. Why are we hitting the disc out of the hands, right? You know.
Well, it's just been a rule that you just don't, but why not change it?
So I think that there's something to be said for the disc staying in the hand of that player. You know, it's when I think where I would make that modification is in that place where the player's about to let go of the disc, about to let go of that disc. You know, normally the hand block means that there's that second where the disc is out of the hands. James shows off the pulling talent.
That was amazing.
Dings a pull right at the back. You know, it's that split second where the disc leaves the hand, you know, person gets that block. But you see plenty of times in Frisbee where the mark is in the right place. They just get there before that disc out of the hand. They jump the gun a little bit, and we call that a foul, and the disc stays with the thrower. I think that's where room where we can that's where we've had that room to really play with that rule some. Cause,
that's fair.
You know, why are we punishing the defender for getting all disc, knowing where it was going to go, you know, just being a little bit early to that spot? I think that's, you know, probably the place where we can make that change.
So let me ask you this question. Why not hit it out of the hand? The same way you can hit a basketball out of a hand.
You know, Rob, that might just be because I'm afraid it'll happen to me and not like it. And there's Terrence. Terrence playing a lot of backfield today. If you followed Terrence through his ultimate career, down in the triangle area, you see Terrence playing a lot of that initiation cutter roll, being that first person to get a look at the disc off the centering pass, and you know, either looking to uncork a huge throw down to the end zone or taking that deep cut for himself and making plays over defenders. Today, taking a lot more opportunity to really show off his throwing ability in the backfield for Dark matters and give those other players a chance to shine downfield.
My favorite cut is the upline cut. That cut just made right there is the beautiful thing about offense.
All the way across the field. And a huge grab.
That's my boy Tamir. What y'all know about that? What y'all know about that? Woodrow Wilson out of DC 202 representing. Hey, yo, Dark better go from the front, break side deep every time, from the back, open side under. We're keeping it accountable. Y'all got to hold us to it, all right? Here we go.
Absolutely, AJ. The insights that we're getting today out of Jesse and AJ, unparalleled. I don't think I've ever experienced anything like it. The ability for them to just hop in, let us know what they're looking at, let us know what they're seeing, what they're planning to do, and asking us up here in the booth to keep them accountable. Man, I ain't never seen nothing like it. Plain and simple, it's wonderful. All right, and we've got the score at 6 all in this game. Like I said, it's going to be a close one. We felt the intensity ramp up. We have seen the plays continue, but they're starting to be sharper. They're a little bit less flashy. It's not as many you know, huge layout grabs from a Jenny DeJesus or big skies from AJ Merriman. It's a lot more of those savvy veteran plays is what you hear them called a lot of the time. The inside lane poaches from Zoe and Ed, the ability to, you know, really taking the time to bury the offense from the jump off pulls from Ed and from James Pollard. This is going to be a defensive showcase now.
We know it's your boy. What's going on?
What's up, Jordan Green?
What's up, Jordan Green?
Yes, sir. I'm in the building, feel me? We out here having a good time. I'm trying to work them, feel me? But got a couple turnovers. I'm gonna give you guys something before this game's over, though.
We've already seen it, so
we've seen it, baby.
Keep it up.
Oh, okay. I appreciate that.
Hey,
I appreciate the love.
Give us some narration. Tell us what you're seeing on the field right now.
What I'm seeing on the field right now is a lot of open space because nobody can guard me out there. Yo, hence the name Jay Can't Be Guarded. Feel me? That's just how I feel out there.
Is that how they do it in Connecticut, huh?
Yes, sir. CT.
I love
Middletown. Holding it down for you guys.
Hey, Jordan, tell me your thoughts on the phrase heart over height. How does that make you feel?
Yo, it fills my heart with pride, man. How else is it supposed to make me feel? Heart over height all day.
Short Kings can play Frisbee, too. This is not a game for these Giants.
Yes, sir. Shout out to all the Short Kings out there. You guys, we can do it. Feel me? Heart over height. You just got to believe.
Love it.
That's all it is.
It's all love, Jordan. Man, we've loved having you here all weekend. We love having you on the mic right now. Anything you want to see in the rest of this game as it keeps playing out?
Yeah, I want to see them throw me the disc more in the end zone. I'm trying to go to the crib, feel me? I got a jug of Kool-Aid in the fridge, and I'm trying to, get a little refreshed. I'm parched right now. I need to score. So I got you guys. Don't worry. One's coming.
Love everything about it, Jordan.
Thank you, guys.
We're going to keep watching you.
Appreciate you.
Jordan Green, again, out of the Connecticut area. He's been an absolute breath of fresh air in this game. Brings an energy that just completely unmatched by anybody else in this game. Swing from Sasha Vogel, not able to be controlled by Aki Young. And we're going to, still a long field ahead of Lights Out. Sasha giving Rico lots of space. That's the dad duel.
The dad duel.
You see Rico taking off. Sasha giving him room, starts to read the disc.
Inside position.
Inside position. Sasha right there. Rico able to get inside, take that lane away, and field that disc.
What's the call?
Got some conversation. There's a lot of extracurriculars going on today.
I believe there might have been a foul on the throw, but it doesn't matter if it's caught, so I'm not exactly sure what's happening.
Yeah, unless the thrower fouled the mark, that was going to stay with Rico all day long as he shows off the throwing prowess.
Beautiful throw. That's amazing.
Is that Coleman again?
It is. You throw it to space and let your offensive player just go get the disc.
And as we've seen, Coleman just out of nowhere going and just cleaning up everything. But we really got to go back and give that credit to Del Rico. Del Rico Johnson, a player known for his athletic ability, as they would call it in the white community. We all know what that really means. But Rico, a nightmare to deal with in the offensive or defensive space. A man who knows his disc angles, a man who knows to take advantage of his gifts. We're going to see this replay. We see that turnover there. We see the big rip. Anyway, so Del Rico Johnson, really somebody, as we see him catch that disc there and put that throw over to Coleman. Somebody who takes a lot of pride, if nowhere else in his game, in his throwing ability and what he has done to prove himself as a thrower. Little insider information for you. On Fleet this past year, Del Rico Johnson was a captain for that team and said, I just want to do my job on this offensive line. I'm not your plug-and-play guy. I've been that before. I'm here to do my job. I'm here to handle business. I'm here to win games, and that's what it's all about. It's all about people showing up to work, doing what they're here to do, and bringing home W's. And if that throw is the product of that kind of work ethic, we're going to see a lot more from Rico as a complete player. Take some time to appreciate this crowd we have down in front of us. It's wonderful to see the support out here for the Yula community, for the Con10ent Tour community. I don't think I've ever been this happy, Rob.
Yeah, this is awesome. It's absolutely awesome. I'm not sure we've given enough shout out to our two coaches. So we've got Izzy Bryant coaching the Lights Out team. Started playing at Indiana University of Pennsylvania, IUP.
Not the Bloomington location.
Yeah. Played 2 seasons at Columbia University and then started playing club in 2005. Most recent teams to mix, he played for New York Exist and Last Call. Also played for Men's New York Pony and Philadelphia Southpaw, and played pro for the New York Empire, Philadelphia Spinners, and the Connecticut Constitution. He's a well-versed player, and he is clearly coaching an amazing game out there today.
On the other side, as we see Lights Out take over, Sean all alone in the backfield, a place that he's comfortable, but maybe not the place that his talents are best used. But look at him chewing up yardage. Look at him tearing up that defense.
All right, excuse me real quick, but can we go back to that pick call at the beginning of this point? That was trash.
Tell us all about it, baby.
I know that was my teammate, but you can't take the open side cushion. They cut break side and you call a pick. Like, what? Bro. You weren't even guarding him.
You weren't even guarding. So there's some lack of continuity there, you're saying.
We're gonna have a chat tonight about it.
Nice. I think that's a fair thing to do.
I mean, you got to get that cleaned up before the Houston stop, right?
Easy.
Easy buckets. What are you looking forward to at the Houston stop, Jesse? You know we still got a lot of game ahead of us here, but.
So I hear AJ's kicking her whole family out of her house.
That's what I heard.
Hosting us.
She told me the same thing.
It's a good rumor.
I'm actually looking forward to AJ's home cooking. She moved from Seattle, and I've been missing her.
Yeah, AJ's in Houston now, but is a Seattle stalwart for sure.
Oh, yeah. Legend.
Now, she went to Rice University.
Can't confirm.
Excuse me, rolling second end zone set. Sean Plunkett catches the easy backhand from James Pollard. There's not much else to say about that except that offense is easy, and Sean showed us how.
Hey, that's another break.
It is another break.
Is that?
Yeah, that's 8-6.
Jesse, you want to tell me about the break train?
The break train, getting tickets on the break train are tough, but when you're on that train, that ride, woo-wee, it's worth every penny.
It's all people on the break train, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you can't just get a ticket by yourself. It's a whole group. Everyone gets a ride on the break train.
Nice.
And the other team gets on the getting broken train.
We're starting to see a little bit more out of this. Izzy Bryant out there making active adjustments, active player calls. Like I said, teams are going to buckle down. Izzy is ready to win this game. He's ready to bring the W home for lights out. He smells blood in the water.
But there's Jesse right there.
I mean,
on the camera. You're on the camera, Jesse.
Izzy also told me that I couldn't be on the D line, so.
Is that bullying?
I mean, he knows that it's still a little preseason. I see some of these turnovers in this wind, and I'm barely playing defense on a turn. So, have me out there pulling. Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. We're going to take this time. You mentioned her earlier. AJ Beard has arguably the greatest ultimate resume I've ever seen from a single person. It takes up the entirety of our screen here. Truly amazing. And we're to start coaching the Seattle Tempest in 2021. You know, participating with Seattle Club Mint Women's in 2016, but you can go all the way back down to, World Ultimate Club Championships in Hawaii, 2002 mixed runner-up. AJ Beard has seen it, she's played it, she's coached it, she has seen it all, and for her to lend her time, her expertise, her genius to us here at the Con10ent Tour is one of the biggest acts of grace I think that you could ask for out of a community pillar like that.
Coached and played with Riot, played with IROT, all over the place. That was amazing defense. Hakeem
Adeyemi.
Wearing his yellow nerd hat. I love it.
And that's not nerd like you knew in school. That's nerd like Pharrell, baby. N-E-R-D all day.
Yeah, I literally meant that his hat says nerd on it. I was not calling his hat nerdy.
Old boy showed up in a whole red tracksuit to warm-ups today. You knew he was serious business from the jump. And a drop from lights out.
So this is an important point
AJ stops
here.
the roll, takes it from where it is, has a free break to Aki Young. She's got Ed Brown. Back to the center. That cut from Ed Brown, phenomenal, phenomenal cut. Sees that the space is closed off on that break side. So stops, goes back to the middle of the field in the open side. Able to field it, turn around, looking at nothing but open field ahead of him, giving us the rest of the play out there. That's just looking for open space. That's easy ultimate. And there she is, AJ Beard on camera. A queen, a pillar, a role model, and just a wonderful friend.
She's just a great person.
Trying to get some field mic action for you as we get this replay. There's the block from Hakeem Adeyemi.
And it's really unfortunate for Hakeem that he got that amazing block and his team did not capitalize on it.
So there it is. Alex Fall with the goal.
Didn't even have to be fast for that point. Just had to be open.
Sometimes that's all it's about.
That's all that matters. So I hope you are all enjoying the live stream at home. Hope you haven't muted us yet and you're just watching this amazing. But if you know what, if you have muted us and you're just watching this amazing game, I guess you couldn't hear me say this, but I mean that works too. And what you can't see is if you see, they're going to pan the crowd here for a second. There are a lot of people here. And as I said earlier, it's like 40 degrees. So this is pretty awesome that there are this many people here that came out to support the Disc.Diversity Tour. and just show some love to some black excellence in ultimate. So it looks like Dark is getting ready to pull the disc, and Ed Brown, of course, is going to be winding up for a deep, long pull. It's time for Dark to get a big stop here. It's very important to get a stop as they are down a full point as the time is winding down, and that was a beautiful pull right to the middle of the end zone.
Sean Plunkett receives up to Jesse. We are in the offense.
I'm not sure if you noticed that Sean clapped his hands before he caught that pull. A lot of people clap before they catch a disc. It's a little tick, as some would say, and it works for him, so nobody can complain about it.
And on that flick huck from James Pollard, another interesting mechanical thing I want to point out, and this is actually credit to Debo from the Dark Matters team. She said, when you're watching somebody who's a good or an excellent thrower, if you're watching their flick mechanics, you will actually see their whole body recoil backwards, almost sometimes being a full step backwards, because that's them ensuring that they have that full whip motion, that they have that touch that they're looking for. Doesn't matter if it's on a huck, doesn't matter if it's on a nice little 8 to 10 yard upline throw. Look for that mechanic. If I had to shout out somebody who's exemplifies that, watch Amel throw the next time that she's throwing a flick. Every single time.
Yep.
Touch is perfect.
And I will say I challenged Amel at the beginning of the game today to have one. She was allowed 1 turnover, and I believe she has 0 turnovers thrown so far. So she is right on par for being an amazing handler once again. So all white, really light here, lights out. All they really need to do here is hold. It's okay if Dark Matter scores on them and they just keep scoring and matching points. What they can't do is they can't allow 2 scores in a row.
Though that would be exciting, and I would love nothing more than to see a universe point.
Hand up for the pull.
We've had a lot of these games go to universe point or pretty close through all of the stops in the Con10ent Tour, but nothing as impressive as the Philly stop, our first one.
Amazing. Back
in September. Game so good that instead of capping at 15, the crowd swayed the players to push the win by 2 up to 17. And
I was there.
You were commentating.
I was commentating. It was awesome to watch.
Secured by Terrence Mitchell. Look at AJ taking off like a rocket. Terrence makes the savvy move, swings to Amel. Amel over to AJ, who came back into that space.
That was a beautiful
rips
throw.
Over to Kalia. Not going to make that play, though.
Enough.
Zoe's going to adjust, get them socks right, go pick that disc up, and it's 70 to go for lights out. Jakeem Polk in the backfield with Zoe Rath. We got Delrico Johnson at the front of the stack. Looks like we're going to get a leadoff cut from Jordan Hill. Amel, once again, sealing off that lane. She doesn't do anything except put her body in the way to take that throw away. Take away that first option, stop that pull play.
I don't want to say anything wild here, but I'll tell you this. If Lights Out scores here, I believe this one's over.
That was a huge inside break over to Coleman, who then gives it to Zoe Rath. Lights Out's executing at a different level right now. That's it, plain and simple. They are. I spoke too soon, Rob.
Unforced errors.
I summoned that bogeyman, didn't I? Pulled him right out.
You did. This is an important throw.
Amel, does she go to the library? She does. Oh my goodness gracious. She had the read. She could not complete the catch. Wow. Musa, calming the Dark Matters line down, telling them we got this. Let's marshal up. Let's play our defense. They still got to march 70.
So speaking of, an ultimate field is 70 yards in length and 40 yards in width.
Delrico off. AJ says no fly zone, no thank you. Rico showed him exactly where to put the disc. These young people these days trying to cheat. Amel secures the swing. Delrico says no, thank you.
He's an immaculate defender, and he always defends and pulls,
Grips and
defends and
rips.
hucks.
Is that going to stay in bounds? It is. It's going to be D'd by Terrence Mitchell over Jordan Hill. Jordan had the steps. Terrence had the read.
Terrence had the read and the height.
It's not by much, though. Let me tell you that.
Just enough.
Swings over to Amel. Mel does not swing, instead keeping it in the middle of the field over to AJ Merriman. Gonna keep upfield to Kalia. Surveys inside to Jordan Green. Dishes off to AJ. Gonna break around to Terrence. Dark Matters decided to play some fundamental ultimate. Easy 10-yard passes, lots of swings. One more over to Kalia. Throw is turfed. I might keep my mouth shut. I keep saying things and they go bad immediately.
Every time. I'm not going to tell him it's your fault, but it is.
Jordan secures upfield. Dumps off to Jenny DeJesus, 0-0. One of those quintessential ultimate numbers. Gives us the shrug. Where is the disc?
And there, oh! Now this time I spoke too soon. It seemed secured, and I was wrong.
Something that you might know, in Frisbee, you do have to complete the catch all the way through. It's pretty similar to American football. Just because you've got the disc in your hands in the end zone doesn't mean you've got the score if you can't keep it there. We're going to see Jakeem seal that lane off. Jordan Green trying to marshal the offense. Quarterback in, up to Terrence Mitchell.
Jordan Green wants to go deep, I promise.
Jakeem with a wonderful heads-up play. Flashes his hand in there to stop that huck from Terrence. He didn't have to put his body in the way. Didn't have to make a super huge move. All he did was show that hand a little bit. Terrence thought about it and didn't throw. Resulted in a turnover. Rico's picking up.
Here's one of those long points that made the first half famous.
Jenny, yeah, this is starting to feel very first half. I'm getting some deja vu. Big saves from Jenny. Long point. Seeing White use everything in their toolbox to try to punch this in. Throw goes up. Not completed. All right. Let's see how Dark bounces back. These are hard players. These are winners. These are grinders. Let's see if they can march at 70 back down the field. We've really started to see that offense sharpen up. They're playing that fundamental offense that coaches like to see. AJ's got to be pretty happy with the decision making in the last couple goes. It's just execution errors at this point. Can Dark clean it up? See the swing to Terrence. Del Rico flashes over to stop that swing to Amel. Beautiful heads-up play, so they have to move upfield on that force side to AJ. Puts up a wonderful curving backhand to Terrence, takes off. They're going to test him. He's all alone. They're going to try to test him, and he aced it. Look at that. I heard that spike from up here as we see him celebrate.
So it looks like that makes the score 8-9, which means we are playing to 10. We are playing to 10, and AJ's throwing discs into the stands. He's a fan favorite here at home.
So now you got to wonder, what does Dark do? Who says, Coach, give me the nod? Or who does, more importantly, AJ say, go get me a W? You know, I need to secure a break so we can get one more. Looking at the O-line, you know, down on the other side, a lot of people you might expect to show up out there. I see Jesse Bolton.
Of course.
I see Del Rico back, gets the nod again. I see James Pollard. I see Joe Richards. Let's see Sean Plunkett.
Bronner Craig. Who else is out there?
Who else is out there with them? Someone's lurking behind Jesse, and I don't quite got the eyes on him.
Is that Graham?
Jana Graham?
It might be. Jesse's head is blocking them, so I'm not sure.
We got Kyla and Zoe over here on the sideline. Yeah, I think that is Jana.
Yep.
Take a look down on the Dark Matters sideline. Who's getting that nod? Who's going to go get us a D? Sasha Vogel, well in world renowned for baiting that underblock. No surprise he gets the nod. Alex Fall, Alex Davis, two fast boys ready to chase one down. Amel, they want her for sure and steady offense off a turn. I see Christian Boxley. I see Ed Brown. Yeah.
Quick reminder, if lights out score here, the game is over. First team to 10 wins.
Huge huck, huge put, downfield to James.
There it is.
And that's it. Sasha gives chase, and he makes up the ground. James Pollard just had too much to go.
There are two things that make me happy about what just happened. One, I totally at halftime predicted Lights Out to win this game. And two, Sasha Vogel was beat for the game-winning score.
That's between you and him, big boy.
Love it.
But
all those smiles on the field on both teams makes me so happy. This was a great game of Ultimate.
So your final score is 10-8, and I don't think that we could have asked for anything better. Again, look in that final throw. We see the move upfield. We see the swing over to Joe Richards.
And we see AJ throwing the disc. Oh, and there's the handshake line. Look, I mean, seriously, if you're still on the stream, look at those smiles. This is beautiful. This is black excellence, black joy. There's absolutely nothing better. And we seriously hope that you have enjoyed this game as much as we did. And if you did and you are feeling inspired to throw your shoulders into the Con10ent support pile, you can. Share this link with anyone you think would also benefit from an abundance of black joy.
Grab some Disc.Diversity swag in support of the local DC Rec Center youth. Donate funds that will help us at future tour stops to go more places. Remember, we're coming to you in Houston. We're looking at you, Denver, Tampa Bay. You're all the way to the end of our sight line, but we're getting to you in 2022. And most importantly, give Disc.Diversity a follow. We're on Instagram. We are on Twitter. Shani is grinding day and night to not only produce content for you all, but to make you aware of issues important to her, important to the black community, important to Frisbee. And, you know, thank you all for joining us. Cool. We're going to get some ending highlights here for you all as we see the two teams.
So thanks for a wonderful night.
Get some highlights. There's Hakeem Adeyemi. You know, take a minute, appreciate these highlights, really think about what you got to see today.
Amazing grab.
Thank you all again for joining us. I'm Charlie Lowe, and for my good friend Rob Bradford.
I'm Rob Bradford, signing out. Have a wonderful night.
Good night.